What is up, guys, and welcome back to our St. Louis Blues Fantasy Draft Franchise Mode series. We are in the Stanley Cup Final, and we are facing our arch rival, the Washington Capitals. If you did not watch the video where we did the actual draft, the Capitals picked before us in the odd rounds and after us in the even rounds, and they picked quite a few players that I had my eye on. And the guy that we passed up in the first round to pick Erik Karlsson was Braden Holtby. And Braden Holtby is in the net for the Caps, as you can see by their goalie advantage in those ratings. Good news is our offense is too higher than theirs. Defense is the same, but they have a huge advantage in the net. We're going to take a look at their lines. So, in the last video, we snuck by the Anaheim Ducks. 7 one-goal games, 3 overtime games, 2 double overtime games, but we pulled it out in 7. It was a very defensive-minded series. Matt Murray played absolutely fantastic for us. It was a goaltender's duel, him and Corey Schneider for the Ducks. So we looked to try to get the same play from Matt Murray in this series. We're going to need it going up against Braden Holtby. So let's take a look at the Washington Capitals lines. And all right. So their top line: Thomas Tatar, Logan Couture, and Nikolai Ehlers. It's a pretty good top line, probably on par with ours. So I would say now the team has an advantage there. Their second line: P.A. Parenteau, David Backes as an 89 overall second line center, and Tyler Ennis as an 84. So Backes, pretty damn good defensively. Probably I would say average offensive stats, but he has a huge physical category. He's also a pretty good skater. I want to see what he did in the regular season. So he put up 57 points for them in the regular season. That's pretty damn good, and I think he propels their second line to, I would say they're a little bit better than ours. And looking at their third line, they got Tanner Pearson, Eric Holla, and Patrick Maroon. Probably on par with our third line as well, with the guys averaging about an 84 overall. And their fourth line: Burmistrov, Foligno, and Joel Ward. So we definitely have a clear advantage here on the fourth line. Just looking at their player types really quick. Pretty evenly distributed player types. The top line has 2 playmakers, but other than that, they're pretty even across the board. So, yeah, I mean it's going to be tough. Their forward core is pretty good. And even though the game said we had a 2-point advantage on them, the only real advantage that I saw that was like a clear advantage for us is the fourth line and probably the second line wingers. But yeah, Backes is obviously a whole lot better than Nick Bonino. So let's go to their defensemen. So here we got Rasmus Ristolainen, who would have been an absolute monster for us to pair with Erik Karlsson on our top pairing, so I was considering him. They also got Marco Scandella, Andre Schuster, Eric Goodbranson, Connor Carrick, and Xavier Ouellet. One of those two. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, the top pairing is pretty good, but ours is better. Karlsson's better than Ristolainen, and Murray is better than Scandella. Their second pairing is pretty good. I would probably say it's somewhere, it's close to ours, might be even. And then their third pairing, ours is definitely better here, as they have a guy that's not even 80 overall on their third pairing. So the game said that the defensive cores of each team were pretty even, but I disagree. I think we have an absolute clear advantage on the third pairing and the first pairing. I think the second pairing is probably pretty even, as I pressed the wrong button before we got to look at Braden Holtby. So here is where the Capitals are going to have a huge advantage on us. Jesus. As they have Braden Holtby in net as an 82 overall, Hammond as the backup. So Holtby, that's just ridiculous. Not even the save percentage in the GAA, but 12 wins out of 13 games. So the Caps are playing fantastic. They are 12-1 thus far in the playoffs, and almost a 2 GAA is pretty damn good, and a 9.25 save percentage. So that's not quite up there with Corey Schneider at the beginning of last series, who had almost a 95% save percentage, but definitely do not sleep on Braden Holtby. So they've played 13 games. Let's go look at their points. thus far through 13. Holy shit! Thomas Tatar with 19 points in 13 games. That's ridiculous. Couture with 17 and Ehlers with 17. So that fucking top line has been far just I don't even know how to describe them. I'm sure you guys can come up with some adjectives to describe that first line. Pretty insane stats for those guys. Their second line, 7, 10, and 9. Respectable for a second line. Pearson, 6, Hall at 8, and Maroon 4. But that line has scored 9 goals in 13 games. And then their fourth line, 4, 1, and 3. So they're not getting a whole lot of production from their bottom 6. Their second line has not been bad, but their top line has been fucking incredible. And if we want any shot of winning this series, we have to completely shut down their first line. Look at plus 12, plus 13, and plus 12. So they are plus 1 per game, essentially, and they're putting up monster points. We need to, that's probably going to be the big X factor of this series, is if we can shut down their first line. Defensively, Scandella 1 and Ristolainen 9, but they are nearly plus 10s. Schuster 3, Goodbranson 3, they are also nearly plus 10s. And Wallet, Ouellet 0, Carrick with 2. Those guys are minuses. So if we can take advantage of that third pairing and keep Ristolainen off the board, as well as keep their top line off the board. Quickly go through our stats so far. I believe we've played 17 games. So our top line, only 10, 11, and 11. They were absolutely shut down in the last series by the Anaheim Ducks. They completely disappeared the entire series, but we still put out the series win. So we're going to need a much better performance from them. Looking at our second line, we got 12, 6, and 10. So we need Bonino to be better. So we're probably going to need to see better even strength play from this line. I'm sure Ribeiro and Vanek are scoring quite a bit on the power play. Third line, our old guy line, 6, 9, and 8, not bad. And then our fourth line, here we go. 9, 7, and 9 from our fourth line. They showed up big in the first 2 rounds, and they came through in 1 or 2 games in the third round, but we looked for them to be better as well. 6 and then 17 for Carlson. Carlson's going to be huge in this series, both from a scoring standpoint for us and a shutdown standpoint in terms of shutting down their first line. Seidenberg 4, Beaulieu 2. Sanheim has been big with 7, and Beauchemin with 2. So we're going to head into the series. We do have home ice advantage, so we'll be starting Game 1 in St. Louis. And, yeah, we just need to find a way to solve Braden Holtby and find a way to shut down their first line. Those are going to be the keys to this series. I see a 6 or 7 game series, and I believe that this series could go either way. Either team could win. So Game 1, first period. All right, we get one early. Thomas Vanek, they get 1. They get 2 about the middle of the period with Ennis and Holla. Getting outshot by 6, so let's just forget that period ever happened. Good news is we did get a first period goal. In the last series, the first 6 games of the series, we did not score a single goal in the first period. We got 1 in Game 7. So moving on to the second period. All right, we got one from Draisaitl early, tied it back up. They got one from Ehlers late to take the lead once again. They're outshooting us by 4 and outscoring us by 1. Let's get right into the third period. So I mean, I don't know. It's just a poor play late in the period, as we did not finish off the power play. We get another one though. Can we score on this one? No, we cannot. And we get a penalty. We take a penalty. Less than 5 minutes left in the game. They get an empty netter from Schuster, and that's going to be Game 1. So I got outshot by 6, outscored by 2, although they did get the empty netter. So 3 stars. Ehlers with a goal and assist. Holtby and Vanek with a goal. So they didn't get the production from their first line like they've been seeing. They did get a goal from them, but I don't know. They did get a goal from their first line, so we need to shut that down. But their first line did not control the game. Holtby did. So yeah, we just need to figure out how to solve Holtby. We still have a couple more games to do so before we start worrying. We've lost home ice advantage after Game 1, so we're headed into Game 2. at home. First period, they get one from Ehlers. They only had 5 shots on net that period. We had 14 and could not get one past Holtby. So there you go, Braden Holtby and their first line scoring a goal in the first period. So both of the keys of the game, or both of my keys to the series, are showing here in the in Game 2, Period 1. So we're just gonna go on to the second period. We got one from Bonino. There we go. I said Bonino needs to be better on that second line, and he showed up here in the second period. Still out shooting them by 11. And that number is climbing here as we start the third period. We just need one more, guys. Just get one more past Holtby. There we go. Draisaitl. There's our first line. There's our first line. So they're showing up. We need sustained offensive success from our first line, and Tatar scores from the point. Fuck. Their first line is absolutely destroying us, man. 2 goals this game, and Holtby. For bottom! 1 second left! Oh, 1 second left. Radim Verbata scores for our fourth line. Oh my god. So that's a fucking I was preparing myself for overtime. I was preparing myself to get pissed off as the Capitals score an overtime goal. But Verbata evens the series up with 1 second left. Whew. We outscored them by 16 in that game, and it took us 59 minutes and 59 seconds to take the lead. But shit, man, Holtby's been playing great other than that last second goal, and we still need to shut down their first line. So Verbata, Draisaitl, first 2 stars with a goal, Tatar with a goal and an assist. The top line is racking up the points. They just are. I don't know what to do about it. I don't know. So we're just gonna head into Game 3, first game of the series on the road. Just get right in the first period. Mike Fisher scores with 2 minutes left. We are out shooting them by 6. So great play for us to start off this Game 3 on the road. Second period, Marleau and Marleau. There we go. So we're taking a 3-0 lead into the third period, Game 3 at Washington, to steal home ice advantage back, out shooting them by 8. So let's just hold on to this lead, boys, and get home ice back. Power play. Can we get another one? Nope. They got a power play now. All right. So this is a good confidence building game as Ennis scores, and they're probably gonna come back now. Verbata. Okay, there we go. Verbata, the fourth line. There we go. A good confidence building game for us as we steal home ice back, and Holla gets another one. So we're trying to ruin that confidence. Okay. So a multi-goal victory. Our first one in a long time, as Marleau has 2 goals, Carlson with a hat trick of helpers, Verbata with 2 points as well. So Carlson came up big that game. The old guy line came up big. The fourth line came up big, and Matt Murray was not so bad himself. Game 4 at Washington. If we win this game right here, that will be absolutely huge for us, as it would probably seal up the series. We'd only need to win 1 of the last 3, but if we lose this game, no harm, no foul, still have home ice advantage. First period, David Backes gets one late in the period. So another top 6 goal for them. Their top 6 has been killing us, mainly their top line, but their second line's not been bad either. Outshooting them by 4 though, so just need to solve Braden Holtby here in the second period, and we do, as our first line decides to show up here in Game 4. Toffoli and Forsberg get 2 goals. Another top line goal for the Capitals with Nikolai Ehlers, outshooting them by 13 though. So keep outshooting them here in this third period. And Sanheim, there we go, from the left circle. Sanheim takes the lead for us. Third period, Van Eck. There we go. Van Eck from the right point gives us a 2-goal lead. And we got a power play? Oh, no. Okay. So just hold on. Matt Murray. Again, scores from right in front of the net. A 3-goal lead and a 3-goal victory for the St. Louis Blues. There we go, boys. We're up 3-1 in the series. Headed to Washington. Nope, headed back to St. Louis as I fuck up. The Stanley Cup will be in the building. Sanheim and Forsberg, goal and an assist. Aginla throws in a goal as well. And a 3-0 lead, or 3-goal victory, as I royally fuck up everything that I'm saying. A 3-goal victory where we outshot the Washington Capitals by 10. And we have the chance here to win the cup in St. Louis in our first year. That was the goal from the fantasy draft, was to win now. And we are in a perfect situation to do that. Game 5. Stanley Cup's in the house. And I just now realized that Sam Bennett already scored. I was not paying attention to the screen. I was looking around, finding out things to say. But Sam Bennett, our fourth line. Why was the fourth line already taking a shift a minute and a half into the game? I don't know, but it worked out. Whoever our coach is, he needs a raise. First period, Philip Forsberg adds in a goal for us right in front of the net, too. So there's the first line, and there's the fourth line. Coming up big, outshooting them by 4, outscoring them by 2. Second period, they tie it up. Jesus Christ. 2 goals from the left half boards. Oh, man. We need to take more shots from the half board. Shit. So Ristolainen and Haula get the goals for them. Ristolainen. I want to combine his first 2 names so bad. Rasmus Ristolainen from the half boards. Eric Haula from the half boards. They're outshooting us by 3. So they had a pretty damn good second period there. Let's get in the third period. We need Matt Murray to hold strong for us. We just need somebody. Anybody wants to be a hero? Power play? Long power play. We had a 5-on-3 in there as well. The Washington Capitals kill it off, though. Sam motherfucking Bennett. There we go. Sam Bennett scores with 6 minutes left. And we are going to watch the rest of the game, boys. We're going to watch our team. I'm going to pick... No. I need to go into the game first. Okay. You go into the game, and then go to select sides, and then choose no side. We are looking really good here, boys. See if we can hold on to a lead. See if Matt Murray can bail us out. Worst case scenario, they score, goes into overtime, and the game lasts forever, and then we lose. And then I would have spent like 10 minutes. I would have spent like 10 minutes just watching the game and doing nothing in terms of progression into the series. We would have just lost the game. So what I need to do is go to select sides, go to the middle. Yes, I want to continue. And then we are going to change the view to broadcast. So we're going to call this game, boys, as I picked the wrong setting. Audio and visual settings, obviously, not quick settings. What am I thinking? Camera here. Broadcast. All right. Or do we want true broadcast? Why is it still zooming in? Okay, we want true broadcast. Yeah, true broadcast. We can see the boards. Looks like we're calling the game. So yeah, we're here in St. Louis. Game 5 of the Stanley Cup Finals. Your St. Louis Blues are winning by 1, outshooting the Capitals by 10. 1:19 left. They will be pulling Holtby as soon as possible. So we need some good defensive play here. We need Matt Murray to step up for us and clinch the Stanley Cup. So we got Iginla against Couture. So their first line's out there. We got our old guy line out there. So I'm not sure how I feel about that. Couture. Oh, okay. Good shot block there by Patrick Marleau. Good shit, old guys. So Iginla brings it up. Holtby is still in the net. Otherwise, we'd have had an empty netter right there. Oh, shit. Get back. As that was a good centering pass, and Iginla got a little one-timer off. Couture brings in his own little deeky-deek. Tosses it over to Tatar. Back to Ristolainen, who tries to dump it in. And then Marleau gets it to Seidenberg. So we got our bottom pairing defenseman. And we had the old guy line out there. Now we got the fourth line. They did not pull Holtby. Are they going to pull him here in the last 20 seconds? Big hit by Iginla. Jesus. He destroyed Rasmus Ristolainen on the board. Seidenberg on the point. Slapper. All right. Iginla has it. Back to Beauchemin. Okay, little breakout for the Caps. They got their third pairing defenseman on there, too. Oh, they pulled the goalie. 10 seconds left. 10 seconds left. Pair and toe to Couture. Good save, Matt Murray. That's a glove save right there with 4 seconds left. Are we going to clinch the Stanley Cup right here, boys? Look at the plus minuses. Carlson up there. And a bunch of Capitals. And a bunch of Blues. David Back is taking the face off against his old team in the offensive zone with Stanley Cup on the line. It's a tie-up. Carlson gets it. There we go, boys. Stanley Cup. We are the champs. St. Louis Blues are your Stanley Cup champions. There we go. Carlson hugging Matt Murray. Who else would be better for that? Better for that shot right there than Erik Karlsson. So year 1, we decided to win now, and we did just that. We won the Stanley Cup in year 1. Erik Karlsson, stupid, sexy, super sweet Erik Karlsson, hugging not hugging, but handshakes with Ristolainen. Okay, Conn Smythe, Erik Karlsson, no surprise there. 23 points plus 13. Outstanding performance from him. It could have been either him or Matt Murray, as Erik Karlsson, our captain, is accepting the Stanley Cup from Gary Bettman. Who will he hand it off to? Who will he hand it off to? That's a good question. And fuck. That is a really good question, as we will never know. Sam Bennett, your first star with 2 goals. Mike Fisher, 2 assists. Matt Murray was your 3rd star. And apparently when you don't select a side in the game, when you're not on a team, it does not show the entire celebration. I wanted to watch Karlsson hand it off to a couple of people, and including Matt Murray, and then I wanted to see the group photo. But that's okay, because look at this screen, boys. Stats Central Stanley Cup champions are your St. Louis Blues 2017 Stanley Cup champions. As winning Stanley Cup does not exempt me from fucking up my words. So it only took us 5 games. First, second, and the Stanley Cup Final Series were 5 games, but the Ducks almost beat us there in the Western Conference Finals. That took 7. Looking at the points, Karlsson was over a point a game, 23 in 22 games. Van Eck, 15. Forsberg, 15. Ribeiro, 14. Verbata Toffoli, 14. Draisaitl, 13. Bennett, 12. Fisher, as I burp again, that was a burger burp. Hashtag burgers. Fisher, Sanheim, and Iginla, all with 11 points. And the old guys down here with 8. Bonino with 9. So Bonino playing more like he scored like a 4th liner as opposed to a 2nd liner. Forsberg was a minus 11. So our first line, big minus guys, but that's okay because we still won the cup despite that. So looking at guys that might retire, transitioning quickly from a Stanley Cup championship season, transitioning into the retirement phase. Ribeiro might retire at 37. Verbata might at 35. Mike Fisher might at 36. Iginla probably will at 39. Marleau at 37. Williams at 35. Seidenberg at 35. Beauchemin at 36. So we're probably going to have quite a few holes in this roster, as Matt Murray with a 213 GAA, nearly a 93% save percentage, up to an 87 overall. Fantastic season from him. Fantastic playoffs from him. And here is your playoff tree. We won year 1 pretty handily, except for the Ducks series. We beat our arch rival, the Capitals. Fuck them for sniping all of our players in the fantasy draft. But next season, we will most likely be presented with a challenge in terms of fielding an NHL-ready roster. And who knows what our team will look like. Who knows if we will be able to compete for the Cup. And I'm actually going to go ahead and sim to the draft so we can see who retired, and we can see how bad our roster is going to look next season. But we did our objective, as the Hershey Bears won the Calder Cup. Hashtag Hershey, hashtag chocolate. We completed our goal, win the Stanley Cup year 1. I wasn't sure if we could do it, especially given like how many old guys we ended up with, and how mediocre our whole bottom 9 looked, especially our second line. We only had 1 guy that retired in Beauchemin. All right, maybe we can win the Cup in year 2. Who the hell knows? All right, so we got a bunch of guys returning. That's surprising, as it looks like a lot of people that retired were just free agents, except for Chara, Markov, Streit, and Beauchemin, wherever he is, way down there. So, all right, so we might actually be pushing for a Cup in year 2. We might be pushing for a Cup in year 2. So here we are at the NHL draft. I'm going to end this video here. If you enjoyed, please like and subscribe, and please tune in next time to see what we're going to do in the off season, what we're going to do in terms of the draft and free agency. See if we can, I guess, improve on what we have, because we're probably going to have quite a few guys regress. Even though they didn't retire, they're still going to regress. So you still might have a little bit of a challenge there. But tune in next time to see how your 2018 reigning Stanley Cup champions St. Louis Blues are going to look.